Two assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump and the potential for more political and electoral chaos. Our next guest believes there are eerie similarities and connections between prophecy and a collection of books written more than 100 years ago. Pulitzer Prize-nominated journalist and author Troy Anderson joins us now. His new book is The Trump Code, exploring time travel, Nikola Tesla, the Trump lineage, and America's future. Troy, you're right about the strange similarities between Donald Trump and his son Barron and a collection of novels written by Ingersoll Lockwood in the late 1800s. You say there's a parallel, especially between the third one in the series, which is called The Last President, and Donald Trump's family legacy. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, Gary, these novels, the Barron Trump collection, are very intriguing. The picture on the cover of these books written in the 1890s is of a little boy, and he looks strikingly like President Trump's son, Barron, and they're, the same name, but just extra R. And he goes on these time traveling adventures with his uncle Don, the master of all masters, and they had this grand time. But what's really caught people's attention is this last book in this series, The Last President, where it says that these anarchists and socialists converge on Castle Trump in New York City, where Trump Tower now stands today, chanting "Death to the rich man" after the election of this populist president. And so there's been articles in Newsweek and Politico asking, could this novel be prophetic in nature, sort of like George Orwell's 1984?
Well, you mention in the book how God can use an author of fiction to write prophetic words, and you detail prophecies about Donald Trump, like the one in 2007. From South African Kim Clement. He said Trump would be at the helm for about 2 years. So some people would say that's just wishful thinking on the part of Trump supporters. So what do you believe about the Trump prophecies? Should we be cautious, skeptical?
Yeah, these prophecies by Ken Clement and others, he predicted that Trump would have 2 terms. And now in these Lockwood novels, it talks about this last president, and perhaps it foresees that President Trump is, elected to a second term here. Only time will tell, but, can God speak to people through this nature? We know that throughout the Bible, God showed all these prophets the future. The Apostle John was shown the events of the book of Revelation. You have that Mount of Transfiguration event where Jesus is there, joined by Moses and Elijah. How did that happen? Were they brought from heaven, or were they brought from the past into the future? So this is a great mystery of time and prophecy, and so we explore that in the Trump Code.
Well, I want to ask you more about that in a moment, but I know that Albert Einstein suggested that Nikola Tesla was a greater genius than him, and in your book you write that Donald Trump's uncle, MIT scientist John Trump, had access to Tesla's research and his files. So why was that, and what did he discover?
Yeah, this is one of the most surprising things we talk about in the Trump Code, is that when Tesla, this genius inventor, died in 1943, the FBI called in President Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, a highly respected professor at MIT, to look through all these papers. And of course, he had stuff on some potential time travel and all kinds of things that perhaps have become, modern technologies or electric grids based off his inventions. And so then there was a bunch of files went missing. And so the History Channel just did a special on the missing files of Tesla. And the speculation is that the governments use these genius ideas of Tesla to invent all kinds of, potentially top secret weaponry and technologies over the decades. So it's an intriguing, connection to the Donald Trump's family.
You also write about the possibility of time travel. You contend that God gave Moses, Elijah, Ezekiel, other prophets, glimpses of the future. Weren't those dreams or prophetic visions rather than actual time travel?
Yeah, and most of the cases in the Bible is, God is showing dreams, or he's speaking directly and showing them the future. So we know that God's outside of space and time, and he knows the end from the beginning. But there is that intriguing story about the Mount of Transfiguration. He is shining like the sun. If you go back and look at Moses on Mount Sinai, he's also shining. When he comes down off the mountain, they put a veil on his face. So did Jesus bring him from the past to the Mount of Transfiguration? Same thing of Elijah. We don't know for sure, but these are intriguing questions that we explore in the Trump Code.
Yeah, I think most people would say it's just the glory of the Lord that shined on their faces. You devote a chapter in the book to artificial intelligence. If we're truly entering the biblical end times, what role does AI play?
Yeah, so for the last 15 years, I've been investigating: are we really moving into these end time events the Bible talks about? And today, for the first time in history, with artificial intelligence, implants, computer chip implants, electronic banking, we could actually have this mark of the beast system for the first time in history. And now we have artificial intelligence. There's that interesting verse in Revelation about the image of the beast. So could that be a reference to artificial intelligence? We don't know for sure, but there's this push for cashless society, the total surveillance state. So all these new technologies may fulfill what the Apostle John wrote about 2,000 years ago in the book of Revelation.
The book is The Trump Code: Exploring Time Travel, Nikola Tesla, the Trump Lineage, and America's Future. Troy Anderson, thank you for sharing your insights. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.